I don't hear any feedback on my end, but anybody that's hearing feedback, let us know now so that doesn't continue.
I hear feedback when Hyan speaks.
Ah. Sit back
Hello,
from your
everybody.
speakers,
Welcome
turn the
to
volume down. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
still getting going. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hucolo TV at www.humancolony.org. Today's date is May 9th, 2015. We have guests in the webinar. We have Hyan. We have Ina. We have Jenna and Caitlin and Krell and Nivi and Shiny Dude Sean, myself, Guru Dan, Sabrina at the Hucolo TV link, and Jim. Welcome everybody to the webinar. I have a couple of announcements just real quickly. A reminder for the announcement for Rob Gaithier at Human Colony on May 23rd. The webinar, not next Saturday, but the Saturday after. And then an announcement for Close Encounters of the Eighth Kind event, which is June 20th, with Krista Reza, Rob Gaithier, and Jim. It's $30 for 4 hours of channeling, and tickets are available at www.trebchanneling.com/events/online, or you can find the flyer at humancolony.org. And Sarah didn't make it in to be able to make her announcement, but she has a webinar, a healing webinar on Friday at 3 p.m. May 15th, which is next Friday. And that is the announcements, Jim. There you go.
Very good, thank you. Sabrina, do you have anything?
No, I do want to say that the site-to-site will be, we're going to ask for Tekkrr to come so that everybody knows exactly what's going on and how things went. And it's best to get it from her. And I want to do a shout out to the 13 people that are viewing us right now.
Very good, thank you. Also, there's one other announcement. I'll be on Rob Gauthier's show on the 27th, and that'll be 2 p.m. his time. It'll be 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though, for all those people that go by Eastern Standard Time. He is an hour earlier than us, so it'll be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be on his show on the 27th, which I believe is a Tuesday. Not sure. 23rd is a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yes, I think so. Very good. And so I look forward to that. He's a lot of fun. And anybody want anyone particular to channel today?
Are you going to channel Jim?
Pardon me?
Are you going to channel someone in particular that day, or you don't know yet?
I don't know yet. Probably Lakesh will come and do a little bit of that show because he would like to excite those people that are coming to the 20th show. But there might be more than one. So we'll see. We'll see how long it goes. But
I need to make it.
Is there anybody?
Correct.
Yes.
I'm sorry, John. I need to make a correction on Sarah's webinar. It's Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. It's 3 p.m. Central. So when I said 3 p.m., I was saying my time zone because that's the way it comes up in my feed.
Okay, understood.
But, yeah, just that. All right.
Oh,
thanks.
thank you for that. Yeah, that's a good correction because a lot of people go by the Eastern Standard Time because that's where I am. Because that's how I schedule all my stuff is with the Eastern Standard Time to their time. So very good. Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
And does anybody want to channel any particular? Me to channel anybody after Tekkrr? Tekkrr is coming first.
Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead.
I'm second of it.
Okay, Jerry Garcia from the Grateful Dead.
Soon or Kenjin?
Soon or Kenjin, okay.
Yes.
Giuliano, okay.
𝗪𝗡𝗓𝗪.
Metrolamus from the dog planet.
Yes.
Julie and Helga requested Giuliano. Oh, we didn't say who is in my room. We have Angie and Helga.
Hi.
I can't think straight. It's been a long week.
Hello.
Hello.
And a lot of people couldn't come to the afternoon because they usually set aside the morning for me. And they're all busy in the afternoon, so that's fine. But this will be our only one in the afternoon. But we'll be back at 10 a.m. next week. And next week, Brian will be here.
Oh, wow.
And so that should be a wonderful thing. So as many of you can come here as possible to visit with Brian. He'll be here Friday morning, and he's staying till Sunday. So it'll be a wonderful thing. Then at the end of the month, Yahyel is coming on the 29th and staying till Saturday, the 30th. And he is from Ontario, and he is online. His name is Oneself. So probably some of you know him. But he's coming down to visit as well to be on the show. So that'll be fun.
Wow.
So, and then there's several visitors in between that are not going to be on the show, but they're just coming down to visit. So the month of May is Visitation Month, the official Visitation Month, I should say.
Well,
so,
I want to officially invite you to visit me.
Yeah. And I did have one other piece of news, and I don't know how many of you know that Jeannie did pass.
Oh.
Jeannie was the very first person that came down from New Hampshire to visit me on the show, and she had cancer issues for a long time, and there was a lot of help given to her by the aliens, and some things were removed and some things got better, but the cancer part was too far evolved. So
Okay, so I can say something that I knew about her, and I figured it out on my own. She was on the council with me.
Yes, she was. But she didn't want that to be known.
She didn't want
and
that
she
to
was
be known.
also part Elohim as well. So
Yeah.
she feels that she can do better with us in spirit than she could do in third dimension. So she let that happen.
Okay.
So we love her very much.
I'll be looking forward to her contacting us.
Yes, she will be contacting us for sure. I have no question about that.
Yes.
But we'll give her a little time, a couple of months.
Yes. Yeah, she needs time.
let her get acclimated to spirit.
Let's not put her to work yet.
Jim, I have a request from Alex, who's off the webinar but watching on YouTube, to request her guide, Cal.
Yes, Cal. I know Cal. Yes.
Says you know who Cal is. Yeah, and so she's requesting Cal if there's an opportunity.
Yes, I know who Cal is. Cal is someone I speak to actually quite frequently anymore. He talks to me about some situations, about her situation, and there's another situation in another part of the world that he speaks to me about. So I do know who Cal is. Yes. Alrighty.
Okay.
If there's no one else, I think I'm going to see you later, and we'll see who comes in after Tekkrr. I have no idea.
I would say Shell. We haven't talked to Shell in a long time, so.
Oh, Shell is doing amazing. There is somebody else that he speaks through also. I don't know who it is, but they're not very well known, but the area that he speaks through them, they need a lot of counseling, and he can do that. So he brings a lot of very vital information to those who are not doing well. And he's in a place where there's some real darkness, and he's very good at getting rid of shadow energies, and that's where he's at right now. So if he wants to join us, that would be wonderful.
Yeah,
great.
That would be great.
All right. Very good. I will see you all a little later. And right now I'll bring Tekkrr through. She'll give you a little synopsis. I know that she's already waiting. So I know what she's going to do. She's going to tell you a little bit about that talks, and then she's going to have you ask questions. So prepare your questions now. She might answer them all. Who knows? She's very thorough. But prepare your questions now for Tekkrr because she's coming first. Alrighty then. I'll see you all later.
See you in a bit, Jim.
Yo. I am Tekkrr.
Welcome, Tekkrr.
Muha.
Hello. Wuha. Namaste.
Namaste.
Welcome, all of you. I know many of you are wanting to know what has happened with the council. It was a very long council. We spoke for a few days, actually. Some people could not stay the full 3 days, but there was a 3-day council. And some people left and sent representatives, and many things happened. And there was a lot of positive movement within the countries of the world. Many have moved toward our side about site to site. There are still some holdouts, of course, as you may know. The United States, Canada, and England all are together in a certain thought process. Then there is Russia, which is a thought process of its own, and then China and Japan, which sort of shares some thoughts, but not all. So therefore, those are the 6 major ones that have not come to say a full yes, but have not said a full no yet either, except for Japan. Japan is the only one that says absolutely not. But right now we have Germany, Austria, Israel, Iran, Iraq, Iceland, Australia has come to the side where they agree that site to site might be beneficial, and they agree that they would welcome it. So those countries are very powerful. Also Turkey, I forgot to say that as well. And there is a couple others. But those were very, very strong yeses at this point that were actually on the fence or no's before. So we have gained some positivity among your planet groups of politicians. And we are most grateful that they are welcoming us. And we are also now starting to write rules and regulations over again, because the original rules and regulations were stipulated for our benefit, and now they want them to be stipulated for their benefit more than ours, which is fine with us. But it will take some time because every country has to ratify this agreement to do it the way that it is to be done. It cannot be separate between each country how to do this. So it is important that we come to a good, solid agreement with these countries that have already said yes, because they will not be able to do the transport, the site to site, until it is unanimous. Now, the reason for that is because people would rebel from other countries, such as Russia and then the United States and Canada and England, because they can't go, and others are able to go and willing to go. So in order to be fair, they ask us to wait for unanimous decision, because many of those countries that said that they would allow the site to site, the people in the country would be going ahead of those who have been with the colony longer, and that doesn't seem fair. So there's a lot of unfairness about this whole thing, but we have to go with what the countries want and what your politics want. I know we could just do it our way. There's no really any threat anymore. We could probably just go ahead and do what we want. However, that is not the way that it should be done. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You have to understand that we're doing this for your good and for the good of the nations, and we want to maintain a friendly attitude, and we want to maintain a peaceful agreement with everyone. And so we are doing it the way that it should be done as far as the governments and the galactic rules are concerned. I know that many people say, just do it, just do it. I've heard that probably 15 times this week from different people. But just doing it does not make it right.
Tekkrr, what are some of the conditions that are being placed upon
that
you?
I was coming to that. Yeah. Okay. Upon us, we must make sure that we return everyone. If someone is missing it, we will be to blame. That is the one that we are most cautious about, because some people will say that they are coming, do not come, and then disappear or do something to try to get away from being in third dimension. This is one that concerns us because this has already happened once. Someone trying to escape third dimension. They do not like third dimension. They told their family they would be leaving, and they actually left. But they told them that they would be coming permanently to the colonies, which did not happen. They did not come with us. They just disappeared, used us as an excuse, and disappeared on their own so no one would look for them. Now, the governments are not that foolish. They will look for them to see if they're doing something clandestine or planning to do something with another species or race or federation or whatever. But there was one person that did do that. So that does concern us. Everyone must be returned, and everyone must, if they come, let someone know that they are coming. This is another thing that they say that is a must. Because if someone is discovered missing, even for 2 or 3 hours, it can cause much havoc and worry and problems. So therefore, one person at least must be notified before they leave, and it must be put in writing, and that writing must be put near the area where they are going to be taken. We will have a copy of it. We will, when we do the site to site, we will also take a copy of that with us and bring it back. It is not necessary for us to have a copy, but we find that it will be beneficial in the long run. So these agreements, we have to find out if they have to be in paper form, if they can be in the mental form. We are hoping that there is not too much bureaucracy with this. This could jam up the works, as somebody said. That's going to jam up the works. And I said, what does that mean? They explained it to me, and I agreed that it could jam up the works. But we are looking for a way to make it much more simple, much more simple. But you see, site to site takes in a lot of responsibility. Do you understand that? If you are harmed in any way, shape, or form by a site to site visit, then all things are off. So if you are returned and not returned in a normal state of mind, all things can be off. There are many things on the table. It's not as simple as, oh yes, they said we could do site to site today. There's too many other situations that have to be looked at before we do it. And we want it to happen as soon as possible. Of course, we know that on our side, things are safe. We know that on our side, things will be all right. But there can be simulations of problems on the other side. Do you understand that? Someone could say that they were hurt while they were at the colony in a physical form, and then there would be problems. So we have got to find a way, especially with the 6 that have not agreed at this time, to fix these problems. How can we would enjoy and accept any ideas to fix any kind of physical problems that could occur, and they brought up many. I'm just mentioning a few. I'm just mentioning a few of the things that they said could happen. And I'm agreeing. They are correct. There could be a physical problem with sight to sight. Bringing people astrally, there is no physical problem. There is no dementia if it's done correctly. But sight to sight is a whole other game or story. Let's put it story. It's not a game. But it is a whole nother story. And it has to be put in a way that people feel safe. The governments feel safe. Of course, yes, they've agreed that we could do site to site, but they are not going to do it until there is something in there that shows that they have some assurances about things, that shows that they're not going to be blamed and that it's not going to cause havoc within the religious circles, the sociological circles, etc. Do you understand all this? You being the first round or first humans to ever be part of a program of this nature is quite compelling, don't you think?
Yeah,
and so your governments are quite cautious, even after they agree. Yes, we would like to do that. They still want assurances that they are not going to be blamed, that their people will be returned in a healthy state, that people will not be abused and come back mentally capable. But the thing is, we have to make sure that they're mentally capable before they come. Yes.
Tekkrr, I was thinking, though, that it would make a lot of sense that they'd be escorted by, 2 or 3 or 4 beings and would be watched closely. That would make the most sense to me.
Yes, but they would not be human necessarily.
No.
But yes, there would be many people on the colonies that would be witness to whatever happens there. However, that may not be good enough for the country. Yes, because they are not witnessing it. They say we could say anything. We could have 10 witnesses that are alien, and that wouldn't count because none of them were human. So therefore, the trust level is still being worked on. Of course it is. It must be. We don't trust them completely either. Let's be realistic. We love you. The people that are here, we know you. We love you. We trust you. However, we've seen some of the things that they've done. Do you think we've not looked into some of these governments before we had tried to do contracts with them? Of course we have. We've all done research. We've all seen different things. We all know who the aliens are that are involved with different governments. We all are part of the same thought processes in some ways, but yet there's many differences, especially in the trust area. Now, trust can be earned, but it must be kept. A trust can be broken by one false statement. Do you understand? A false statement. A false statement. That is how insecure your governments are with dealing with aliens. They don't know what we are like at all. And so one false move and we're out. And we do not want to do that. We do not want to risk that. Do you understand that? We want this to be successful. And for it to be successful, it will have to go 6 months without flaw. Do you understand that?
Yes, Tekkrr, and another thing that I think we also have to remember that we, the ones going, have to also be very responsible about what we say and what we do. Because this can ruin it for the rest of the people.
Well, this was the other thing that I was telling you. Some of you will not be permitted to come. Why? If there is something in your past that suggests that there could be a problem, we must watch you first for a while. Some of you, we've already done that. But we must be very careful that each one that comes will be on their perfect behavior and will be there for a specific intention to learn and to understand and not to sabotage or to to cause harm to others or to stay there when they know they should not. There are those in human colony that want to escape third dimension completely and will do anything to do that. They are desperate to do that. What I know, you don't understand that. There are desperate people that do not want to be in third dimension at all. And we have to be careful. If we take someone of that, they must be totally watched continuously. They must be on their best behavior. We do not want to do that. However, if someone states to us they do not want to be in third dimension and they want to be taken away from the world, what would you do if you were us? You would have to be very, very careful, because your countries, your governments, your politics, your bureaucracy maintains they must be returned. And you know, we will not use heavy force on you if you come up here. You must agree to go back. And if you do not agree to go back, we will try to make you agree to go back. But we will not force it. And that is a problem that we have to deal with also. Do you understand that?
Yes, so you have to, your word must
we have to keep
have
our word.
integrity. Yes, our word also. Whatever we say.
Exactly. Your word is actually as important or more important than our word. Correct. In some ways. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Because if someone decides to stay, we will have to report it. And it will not look good for you or us.
Correct. Now, Tekkrr, couldn't one of the federations, because does this only apply to Girk Fitneer, or would other civilizations, would all of these rules apply to them?
These rules would apply to any site-to-site endeavors. We are connected with Federation of Light. If you could name a few of those federations for me. We are connected with many of them when it comes to this site-to-site agreement. Yes, it's with Girk Fitneer, and we are responsible solely. However, we are reaching out to bring people from other federations, from other areas, into this alliance with us to do the site-to-site.
And couldn't one of the federations, in other words, everybody would have to submit something to one of the federations to say who took whom? So
correct. And we would have to monitor site-to-sites very accurately, because all that information goes to the governments.
Okay.
And this is a scary point as well. There are some species that do not want site-to-site to happen. And so, therefore, they may try to sabotage site-to-site and harm people that are doing site-to-site. We want to make sure that we are foolproof and fully secure at that time as well. This is an area where we have discussed for hours the security of the human race doing this project. Because many humans are concerned. They know that there are negative aliens out there. They know that they are trying to put down the efforts of any positive actions between us and your world. So therefore, there must be great security taken on both sides. Your great nations who have the most people to site-to-site transfer are the ones most hesitant for that, because they would have a greater area, a greater population to look after on their end. And they are not wanting to spend that kind of money for the security. So you understand why the larger nations are not saying yes right away. It's not that some of them do trust us, some of them don't, but some of them just think it's too expensive.
Too expensive in what sense?
Because they will have to have security in place as well. And that will mean guarding the site-to-site transfer areas. And that could be in a particular household. And the way to control that is they would have to have specific security pointed at certain locations. It would not have to be a huge technical process. However, it would have to be several processes, because not one process would cover the households in one area. I mean, in all areas. So, because they could only protect an area probably of a 50-mile radius, or maybe 100-mile, if they get that good, because it's such a very sensitive, it can be very sensitive to do that. So they would have to have many stations.
How many people were planned to be taken site by site? Was there any number given? I mean, what else?
There is no number given, but however, there is a list of those to go first, and that list is of 50 people.
Okay.
There are 50 people that will go first, and they know, some of them will know who they are. They've already been told. But after that, then there's many people after that that have signed up to go. Hundreds who want to go site to site. Human colony is getting very large when it comes to people asking for DNA, giving DNA, wanting hybridization, and also wanting to go site to site and go to the colonies. It is getting very popular in that way, because they see that that is a logical step. That's a logical next step in this whole project and process. So, is there any questions now? I know that I missed some things, and there were many other subjects covered.
Jasmina?
Yes, hello, Tekkrr.
Hello, Jasmina.
I was thinking, how about from Slovenia? Can I go side to side?
You will be able to go. Slovenia was not even one that was asked to be in the council. So you have already said yes by default.
Okay. And somebody's asking, yes?
But it will not happen until the larger countries have come to an agreement as well. We are worried about Japan. We may have to work around them, because I do not think they will come to us. Japan is the only place that is positively no.
Can you tell us some
Okay.
of the things we discussed in those 4 days?
Yes. If you ask specific questions, I will be with you.
And somebody is asking about Sweden and Portugal. Can they go?
Portugal is actually not one of the ones. Portugal is on the fence with Spain, but they are leaning toward our direction. But we are not really worried about them, because we feel they will come to our side, because of France, Germany, Italy, Austria, Switzerland, Denmark. All those have come to our side. The only ones that haven't in Europe are Portugal, Spain, and the Republic of Czechoslovakia.
How about Sweden?
Sweden is in Scandinavia. All of the Scandinavian countries have said yes.
Okay. And will we remember going side to side?
You better.
Okay. Just one more question. Do you have any messages for me?
Not at this time.
Okay.
I'm more concentrated on the information that must be given at this time. It is important that we get as much information to Hucolo and to the world about these talks as possible.
Okay.
That is my
Thank
main
you.
concern today.
Thank you.
You are
Love
welcome.
to you.
Love to you as well.
Hope to see you side to side.
That would be wonderful.
Yes.
Sean.
Hello, Tekkrr. White light energy to you, and much love.
Much love to you as well.
I was wondering, what did the European Union say?
The what?
The European Union.
Oh, the European Union. Each country was selected individually to bring a representative, so the Union was not involved. So, however, Ireland and Scotland are involved in this with England, and the United Kingdom as a whole has said no at this point. But they are in alliance with Canada and the United States. So that is where the problem with those three is they are in alliance with one another because they feed off of each other in economic and political ways and very many things. So they are all together with the no at this time. However, we feel if the United States would come to a yes, that the other two would also.
Thank you.
Tekkrr,
Yes.
how are you? It's Shir and Evie.
Hello, how are you?
I'm very, very good. How are you?
I'm very well.
Okay. My question is this. You said that in order to go to the colonies, you need someone to sign on a form that he knows that you are going. Correct?
Well, we're hoping to eliminate the forms. This is what is being agreed on at this time. Actually, it's not been agreed on completely. So we have to make sure that every country does the same thing. It cannot differ from one country to the other. It would be too confusing for the country and for us. And it can be forged. So we hope that all things will come through what do
More
they call
harmonic
it?
way.
Not telepathy, but computer chips.
Okay.
The computer chip that we will have to put in your body to do your site-to-site transfer should have all the information on that is necessary to come back and forth. We are hoping for that kind of an agreement. Your chips that are now in your body will be replaced with new ones if this is done, because more information would have to be placed on it and more security.
I see. So we can just send a mental message and go to the colonies without anything else.
Well, yes, but you would have to have the agreement. That would be recorded on the chip when you speak to that person that will give you the agreement that they know that you are going. They will
From the
have to say
government?
it verbally. They will have to say it verbally, and their voice prints will be checked.
I see. So it's supposed to be someone from the government or someone from my family, like my brother?
Like your brother, your mother, or a friend even. Someone has to know so that they know where you are.
I see. Okay, thank you and much love. It's
Much love to you as well.
very nice to speak with you again.
I always love speaking to you. Take care, Shura Nivi.
Tekkrr, Liliana was asking, what about Colombia?
Colombia is actually not one that was considered. Their government refused to go to the talks, and therefore they are an automatic yes.
Okay, what about the other South America and Central America?
Brazil was at the conference. They have said yes. Chile, Peru, all yeses. Venezuela, yes. Ecuador, yes. Paraguay
Okay.
and Central America also said yes. All of Central America is on a yes status.
Okay.
Including Mexico.
Oh. The other thing I wanted to ask you, for people that are sick, is there any danger for them to be transported?
And no, in fact, we would like to take some sick people and help them, because we can help them better in person than we can if they are on the planet. There would be much better medical care if they came in person, site to site. Now, if it was something that required more than 2 to 3 hours, that would need special permission from the governments. But it is almost agreed that that could happen if you prove that they needed surgery or something that might take more than a couple hours for recovery, not for the operation. The operations would be rather quickly, but with our kind of anesthesia, we like to leave people asleep for a couple of days.
Oh, okay. All right.
And that way they are totally healed when they come out.
Yeah.
Because you heal better when you are at rest. We would have you at rest for 2 days, and when you come out of it, slowly, of course, it would take several hours for you to come back to normal. But when you come back to normal, you'll be totally healthy again. That kind of thing is what we were hoping for human colony. Some people have many different problems.
Yeah. Yeah, they do, and there's no help for them down here. So, to me, that's important that they be the first ones to go because, you know, they need the most help, and you can provide that for them.
That is something that we have not yet confirmed with your governments, but it is on the list of things to be confirmed with your governments. That would take a special kind of ship also that would tell that they have certain diseases when they came and did not have them when they returned.
Okay, and for that, are the people going to have to provide something, or how would that work?
We are still working on the exchange. The government is actually who we want to charge for that kind of service. Because individually, we do not take the kind of money that you speak about, and that would be the only thing that they would be able to give. But your governments can give us information that we need. And so therefore, so many operations would be so much information. And it would not be life-threatening information.
Okay. Now, the other chip that would be implanted in us, would the government also be able to keep track of us with that?
Unfortunately, yes. They will have a small portion of the chip that belongs totally to them to see that we are keeping our side of the bargain. And that would be to show where you are at all times. And so if we say that we have you, it will show that we have you. If you say that you are on Earth, you will be on Earth. If you try to flee and go somewhere else, they will find you.
Okay. All right.
But we see, if there is a breach in that kind of promise, the whole thing becomes jeopardized because they will want to stop the program because people are not abiding by it.
Right.
As you see, there's going to be many, many things that can go wrong. And we want to be very positive and say there's many, many things that can also go right for your people, for the government, for healing, for information, for the people to have a lot more telepathy on Earth and be a lot more sensitive to each other in human form and understand what it's like to encounter someone that's full of hate and see and know that you can help them in some way because they will give you some information about themselves that you would not normally have, and it may be just the right set of words spoken that might cause them to think. May not stop them from being evil or bad, but it may stop them and make them think about what they are doing.
Okay.
And that is the beginning of a transformation. And that's what we are looking for, many beginnings for transformation. We are not looking to heal the world today. It's not going to happen in one day, a year, a month, 10 years. It's going to take time. But you know what? This group of people is at the beginning stages of those great changes. You have to be proud, you have to be stable, and you have to push forward and know that you're doing the right thing. Because if you don't know that you're doing the right thing, you won't do the right thing. And that is why we want you to come and learn, not be brainwashed. There is something different. Learning and brainwashing are two different things. We want you to learn telepathy. There is nothing connected to your thought process in telepathy, in the sense of physically thinking about a certain thing. Telepathy is something that we want to show you how to do. It's like part of you already. It's part of what you are already. We just want you to bring it out of yourself. It's not something new that we're putting in, brainwashing you with. It's something that's already in you. We just want to bring it out. Do you understand that? And also with the downloads, it's something that we didn't change your intellect. We didn't change your way that you believe. We didn't change anything about you. We gave you information. Now, the information, if you choose to let it change you, will, in a good way. But it's not brainwashing. You choose it or you don't. It's up to you. It's not up to us. If it was brainwashing, you would have no choice.
Tekkrr, what's to keep the government from, once people have learned this, from taking them for other reasons? If you know what I mean.
I am not sure what you mean.
For negative reasons.
Oh, if they think that we're taking people for negative reasons?
No. If once, let's say you train certain people, for them to take people to use them for negative reasons.
The government?
Yes.
Well, that would be on their chip, wouldn't it?
Okay. So you'll be able to keep track also of the people.
Correct. And what is said to them and what is not said to them. Now, if they are interfering with the chip, we will also know that. This is the idea of the chip. It is not that we trust each other. It is that the chip will be the trust keeper.
Okay. All right.
You understand that?
Yes.
Because if someone speaks that they are willing to let you go to the colony and they know that you are going, they will have to speak it. They will have to say, yes, I know that you're going to the colonies. And when? They'll have to speak the time, and then it will all be on record. Now, if the governments came to you and said, we want you to do this when you get to the colonies, that will also be on the chip. And they will not be able to tamper with the chip once it's in your body.
Okay. And so then the chip, the chip records all the conversations?
Yes, and then once you come to the colony, we take a listen to that. We just have a way of reading the information on the chip and recording it off of there, just like you do on your computers, making a CD or however it is. We'll take that information and view it later.
Okay.
If your chip gets full, if your chip gets too full, we will erase it because we have it all on record. And you can start from the beginning with a fresh, clean chip, but we have all your information already here. And they will have your information as well, if they choose to keep it.
Okay. Pegasus?
Yaka, crawl.
Yes, hello, Tekkrr.
Hello.
I wanted to ask about an orb. Was one placed into me recently?
I did not hear the question. Can you repeat that, please?
Did I have an orb placed into my body recently?
No, but they are considering you for an orb. You have requested it, actually. But no, not yet. There will be an orb coming, though.
So, what will the orb do once it's inside me?
I will speak to you personally about that.
Okay. And my second question is about, I had an experience with a white being. I didn't know who she was. I was wondering if you could tell me who she was.
Was she Fendorian? Was she short and white pasty-faced?
Yeah, bald, too.
Yes, Fendorian. Her name was 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧. Did you get that?
Yes, 𝗖𝗢𝗡𝗧𝗡𝗡𝗧.
Couldn't.
No.
Muha, dear one, how are you, Tekkrr?
Muha, I am well. How are you?
Great, thank you.
Who am
My
I speaking
question,
to?
this is Noha.
Ah, Noha. I did not
Hello.
recognize your voice. Hello.
I don't know. Come on, you can't forget me. I love you so much.
Well, you are echoing, and it makes it hard to hear.
All right. First question, will I be able to go to site because I come from Arabia and my situation is discreet?
You will be able to come, but it will be a different circumstances with you, which I will speak to you about, because no one will give you permission to come
Of
from
course.
your area. But there will be someone there that will be able to give you permission that we will send to you and use an alien, but it will also be given to the governments that the circumstances behind this permission. We
Really?
have
Are they
already
aware of it?
We've already spoken to them about people that do not have those to give permission. And so we will have surrogate
Uh-huh.
permission givers.
And the one who's going to be sent to me, is it astrally or physically?
We have yet to decide that.
Okay. Second question, regarding side to side, is it going to be on our Earth plane or at the human colony?
You will be taken from the Earth and in a physical form and rematerialize on the colonies.
Wow, looking forward to it. That sounds exciting. I'm up
It
to it,
is.
really. I'm all chills.
I love you
Thank
very
you. Well
much,
appreciated.
Noha.
You know, I'm hugging you all
Very
the
much.
time. I'm sending hugs through Brian when he comes.
Yes. It
Thank you
will
very
be a
much.
wonderful time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Namaste.
Joe?
Hello, Tekkrr.
Yes. Hello.
I wanted to know if I was on the list of the first 50 people to go.
Yes, Joe. You are.
Okay, and I had one more question. On Thursday, I wanted to know what happened to me at like 4:20 in the morning. You said look out for those people that wanted to probe my brain. I think that happened.
Yes, it did happen, and we will speak to you about that very shortly.
All right, thank you. That's all.
Tuesday.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Tekkrr, Ina has a question. She said, if we become more telepathic, we also receive more intensely the negative thoughts and intents of others sent to us, right? How do we deal with that?
This is part of your training. Not only do you get the telepathic part of the training, but you also get how to deal with some of the things that you will encounter, which you will be surprised when you encounter them. And these things you must be protected for, again, ahead of time. So when before you go out into the world, when you are a telepath, you must prepare yourself. And preparing yourself, it should be part of everyone's everyday life anyway. But it is not always. People are not so eager to protect themselves, and they should. But this will be taught to you how to protect yourself from this kind of thing, and how to respond in a telepathic way to a negative thought, to a negative person, to evil, to all these different things. And some of you already know how to do that, and others of you will be trained.
She was also asking that the day before yesterday, after participating in a webinar with Ivan, and he was channeling, that after the hangout, she went to bed and the whole room was full of presence. And then when she closed her eyes, she heard a tone in the head area on the left, and then the same tone on the right side. Just wanted to know if the presence of the tones in my head area was benevolent or not.
One moment. I know what tones you speak of. These are actually beings that we're trying to communicate from you they tried the left side channel, and then they tried the right side channel. You see, Bashar is a left side channel in many cases. He's a left side. Not for everyone, because everyone channels different, of course. But these particular beings wanted to come in and speak, but they were not able to get in at that time. And it's all right. That is all right. The information that they have to give to you will come at another time that is probably more beneficial. And yes, they were benevolent.
Okay, thank you, Tekkrr. Nivi?
Yes.
Yes, hello, Tekkrr.
Nivi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am very well.
Lately, I've been hearing high-pitched sounds,
Yes.
like frequencies going up. My brother as well. Can you tell me what is it about?
All right. You have Elohim infusions, both of you, up to 7%. When it reaches close to the finishing of the activation, you will hear high-pitched frequencies because they are at a very, very high vibration. This will actually help you to rise. The vibrations will stop in a few days, and your vibration will actually have attuned themselves a little higher.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. And I asked you about having a perfect pitch.
Yes.
Do you know how you can help me with it?
With perfect pitch.
Yes.
Your intention for perfect pitch. You must believe that you have it first, and you must hear it before you even sing it. It has to be in your head. Do you understand that? Now, that should not be difficult for you because perfect pitch is in the air all around you. Everywhere, because there's many that have perfect pitch and it never goes away. It could be part of anyone if they want it. But you have to really want it, and it has to be useful. So in your case, it will be useful. And so I can tell you that your perfect pitch is on the way.
Great. Thank you so much.
Tekkrr, this is Shir here.
Yes,
once
Shir.
again. I want to know if I can... people here are speaking about orbs. What is it?
What is the relevance of an orb? Yes, I can tell you what that does. Some people need extra grounding. Some people need to have help with their grounding to third dimension because they have so much fourth dimensional energy that it does not it lifts them out of third dimension very quickly and away from their grounding. Even when they're trying to ground, when they're picturing Mother Earth as the roots in they're picturing their self as the roots of a tree in the ground for Mother Earth to come through. You'll have to forgive me. Our language does not speak in the same order as yours. So, so people, even those that have great grounding techniques still may need some extra help because of the day and age that they were born into. And so these orbs are given for extra grounding to help them become more third dimensional and understand third density in a greater way.
I see. Is it something that I should take or have, according to your opinion?
I do not think that you are not a candidate for an orb at this time. Only those that cannot relate to the third dimension, and you can relate to it very well.
Okay.
Brian.
Brian. Hello,
my friend.
Hello, Brian. How are you?
Good. Everything works out. I'm really happy to come and see Jim next week.
It is very good that you will be here.
Yes. There's so many questions I have to ask of many of you, and so I'm very looking forward to this.
What kind of questions are you pondering?
Go ahead, my friend. Go ahead. Burning, go ahead and ask.
Well, you were saying how you had some questions, and so I was curious.
What his questions are? Is that what you were curious about?
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to ask me one question now to give her an idea of what you are thinking about asking?
Oh, me?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh.
but also on you.
She is interested in your thought processes and ours together.
Oh, okay. Yes, yes.
Well, you know, we're all consciously learning, and since we are all one, just on many different paths, you know, it's really a blessing to see us learn and grow.
I understand.
Yes, yes. My question was sight to sight.
Yes.
I really honor and respect how you're approaching this, Tekkrr, and these do, and many of you. It's a must. It's to show the trust between the governments and everyone else. I'm really happy about that. From the ground sites where the transfer will take place, on the ground sites are also will some of the, I'm fine with this, but some may not be, but with some of the what we call MIB be around to watch this transfer so nothing goes wrong.
They will not be invited to watch it, actually, but they will be privy to the information that is given to the government if they are part of that project that the government is going to lay out. Because there will be some that will be part of that mission, if you will.
Yes,
and it will not be given to all, but to some to check out particular transfers at particular times, sort of like an inspector.
That's what I was wondering, to make it safe on both sides, so it's not, at least
correct.
At least the Earth side.
There will be those that will be around. There will be requests made of some people to be in a certain particular area so that they can be watched. So this is another thing that is still being, like I said, there are many different issues that the governments have, and we must work them out. And that's why I'm saying, I'm hoping by the end of the year, site to site will be, with all these new developments, will be worked out by then. So I'm hoping before that, actually. But it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a bureaucratic nonsense kind of thing that we have to work through to make everyone happy, to make sure that things are secure. Security is a big thing, and trust is a big thing as well. So, as you can understand, those are two areas that security is. You say so the word security to the planet, anybody on the planet Earth, and it's an important idea.
Yeah. I
Although
understand.
trust is also important, but you know what? Security perks their ears up even more, because security, they can get a definite.
Can
Trust,
I
not
chime in
always.
really quick?
Okay, thank you, Tekkrr. Much love.
Yes.
Well, I believe that security and trust go hand in hand, because you cannot feel secure if you don't trust the person, and if you don't trust the person, you don't feel secure with them. So I feel like you answered a question in two separate ways where it's really one.
Yeah, exactly. But you have to understand, perception. People, you may be correct about them being very much the same. Some people do not perceive them as being the same at all. They see security as protection, and trust has nothing to do with it whatsoever.
But in order to feel safe and secure, you have to trust whatever's protecting you has to work. So if, for example, you don't feel secure when your door is open, well, you can go about it and get a lock, and then you can trust that the door is locked.
Yes, but that's not trust in a person. That's trust in the door.
I know, but there are many different
let me put it
kinds
this
of
way.
trust out there.
There are
It's
different.
like,
That is what I'm saying. There's many different perceptions of what you're trying to say. They do go hand in hand, I agree. But when you say the word security to someone in the government, it means something different to them than the word trust, because they do not trust anybody, but they believe they can be secure.
Ah, interesting.
Do you understand what I'm saying now?
Yes, I do.
Very good.
I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh, no. I think that your point was very valid, and I think that it should be that way, but it not always is. Perception...
What's your name?
My name is Tekkrr.
Tekkrr, nice to meet you. I'm Deanna.
Nice to meet you as well. I enjoyed your question, and I think it had much value.
Tekkrr, Zenaida had a question. She wanted to know if the government got her documents. I think you told her something. I think it was in a dream of hers. And what was the document? I'm not sure.
Did the question is, did the government get her documents?
Yes.
Yes, they did. And that's all I will say at this time.
Okay. All right. Who else had a question? Alan or
Well,
Alexander?
what kind of questions are we talking about exactly?
I have...
What was that? I did not hear that.
Alan or... Hold on, Bernie. Alexandra or Alan, do you have questions?
Hello, Tekkrr.
Who is this?
My name is Alan. I'm new to the group.
Welcome, Alan. It is good to meet you.
And it's good to meet you too, Tekkrr. It's a pleasure. Thank you. I have one question. This happened a few years back. I went to bed, I woke up, and I had a scratch on my face. And I'm wondering if it was a negative entity that did that.
There are times when reptilians do mark people to watch with scratches and claw marks. Many have discovered that through human colony and woke up with claw marks on different parts of their bodies. Now, the difference is that if they claw the arm or the leg or the face, it means something different to them, a different outlook. And they change the meanings of these periodically because, of course, these will heal, you understand.
Yeah.
But they are marking you for a particular reason, to watch you for a particular reason. Now, have you had reptilian involvement before?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I'm really new to this. I'm a bit nervous.
Very well. I see that. I understand that, yes, you have had some reptilian activity in your household. There was something interesting in your household that was reptilian. However, they marked you to watch you to see how you react to their reptilian actions. Now,
is there a reason that they chose me?
Yes, there is a reason why they chose you. There is someone you know that is a reptilian, obviously, and they want to see how you react to them.
Okay.
It may be in human... Yes.
How do you know if someone's a reptilian?
Some people do not know. Other people can tell by their traits. There are some traits that are very easy to see. A quick temper is one of them, a very quick temper. And then all of a sudden it's gone. But it happens often.
So could I be a reptilian and I don't even know it?
Yes, it's a quick temper and then it's gone. Other things are they like their food not cooked as well as others. Some of them have gotten used to food, but others eat eggs very runny. Some of them eat their food very raw.
Is it because I was a reptilian in a past life or something?
No, they've come to this planet for observation and for study, and they've taken on a human form. They do not stay in it 100% of the time. However, you will never see them change. They go into a different location completely to change back form, and they can only stay in human form for about 18 hours.
Okay, thank you, Tekkrr. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Any the people that are in the room with Tekkrr, do you have questions?
I just had one question.
Yes.
Hold on.
Speak closer to the.
I just had a question about the site to site. When it does finally get okayed, how often is it going to be that we get to go?
That depends. That's part of the agreement with the government is how often that you get to go. We are thinking most people that are dedicated and are learning well should go once a month, at least.
Thank you for that.
If you are not true to your studies and are not really learning, then perhaps once every other month to make way for those that are really working hard. Because we feel that those that are really working hard should be given the opportunity to become telepathic to help the world rise quicker. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
And also, it is a reward for them to come more often and to do their studies. The reward is the harder you work, the more often you can come.
Okay. Bernie, now did you have a question?
Bernie, are you there?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you pronounced it wrong. I didn't realize you were saying burning. My name's Deanna again, but my question was, and keep in mind I'm very open-minded and I've been around the block a few times, and I'm a spiritual teacher for the most part.
Around the block, please explain.
Well, I've had many spiritual awakenings. I've had Kundalini awakenings. I've had friends
excellent.
who know about mystery schools. I have learned a little bit about the Kabbalah. I've learned about the cause and effect. I'm a clairvoyant.
Very good. Now I know around the block. Thank you.
So I'm very aware of what really is going on and that we really are co-creating a reality.
Does it mean much awareness?
What?
Does it mean much awareness?
Yes. Yes.
Very good. I will take it
Have
to mean
seen
much.
much. Yes, that she has seen much.
Continue. Tell me what it is that you want to know.
Well, I'm curious. Like before, I was questioning if reptilians really do exist because I've heard many horror stories. And
yes.
Hold on a sec. Yes.
All right. Anybody else have questions?
But my main question is, what is a reptilian, and do I know anyone that, like, does anyone here do readings?
So, if you go channel with Treb, who is Rob Gauthier, he is a reptilian. If you channel with Jim, with Grindel. If you channel with Grindel, he is a reptilian. If you channel with there are several reptilians that people do channel.
Ivan's one.
Ivan is a reptilian. Ivan channels a reptilian.
Channels a reptilian. Yes.
He does Grindel, doesn't he?
A friend of Grindel's. A friend.
I see. I understand. Reptilians do exist in 5 different species around your planet. Actually, it's increased to 7, but 2 of them are do not speak to us. It is time for me to go, I believe.
Tekkrr, one question.
Continue.
It's JD here. Tomorrow I have a channeling session with Jim, so I invite you for that channeling session, please.
Very nice. I will be there. Yours is at 2 in the afternoon your time.
Yeah, my time.
Yes.
And Tekkrr, we'll see you. I'll see you next week, my friend.
I will see you soon, Brian.
Okay.
Tekkrr, thank you for coming and answering our questions and clearing this up for us. And I know there's still a lot that must go on before things are finalized.
There's so many other things that we did not discuss. However, some of them were not important. So it is good that we discussed what we did. We touched on many important things. And I will keep you abreast of the situation. We are writing up our requests for how we would like it to happen, and the trust issues are part of that series of writings, and the chip will help monitor the trust factors and the security factors, which, as Diana said, are similar but perceived differently by the governments. Perceived very differently than a person on the street. I would say to you security, and you would give me a definition. I would give them the word security, and they would have many other factors that are involved in it. So yes. And trust. They do not trust anyone, but yet they say they do. Their version of trust is not the same as yours.
And Tekkrr, what is their reasoning for? I mean, I can see them wanting people being concerned for the ones going, you know, the people around them, but the government minding people leaving. It's what I don't understand.
It is a security issue. Some of these people may have information that they don't know about. So it is also security that they come back. Because then, if we keep them too long, they could be programmed to be against your security. You see, there's so many different ways to look at it from their angle. And they don't even want you to go for 2 hours. An hour was what they first said, so that not much can be done in 1 hour.
There's such a lack of trust, and it's just fear-oriented.
Yes, very good. Yes, and that is, I'm saying, that perception. You see the words trust and security are positive words, are they not? But there's so much negativity behind them in their perception. You see, perception is in each person. And they perceive trust and security in a negative way in some senses.
Yeah. And Tekkrr, and to me, that's where I'm a little bit nervous about them being able to keep track of me.
Yes, and I understand that, and that will be part of what you will have to work with when we make our agreements.
Yeah. Okay.
You may choose not to go because of what will have to happen, but some will still choose to go, I am sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But you can still go astrally. There is no rules or regulations on that. They know that you cannot stay. They know we cannot, that everything that we do on that can be controlled by them and put into a subconscious state so that you do not remember it as well, and they can control that subconscious state. If it becomes conscious, they can still control that. So, unfortunately, they do have their ways through reptilian technology. So.
Oh, so they're the ones controlling the fact that we don't remember.
Well, we realize now that they have about 80% control of that, yes.
Okay.
But I must go now.
All right. Thank you.
It was very good talking to you. I am glad to be able to give you this information with love and understanding and honor. I hope you peace and goodwill, all of you.
Very nice meeting you.
Much love, Tekkrr, from Israel.
Namaste, Tekkrr.
Namaste.
Namaste, my friend.
Sure.
Jerry Garcia.
Hello.
Hello.
She told me to come back and drink water. Oh, okay.
Yes. I guess she knows now. You haven't, Jim, you haven't taught Tekkrr how to drink water?
Huh?
You haven't taught Tekkrr how to drink water from that?
No, he can't do it.
No. It seems like she won't do it. So I told her that she could if she wanted to. She's doing. I'll drop it. She's not real certain with my hands.
I'll hold it.
Okay, that's possible.
Oh.
Okay. All right, and all right. I got some water. I feel better. What time is it?
Great. It is 4:55.
Alrighty then, and we have a time for somebody else. So let's see who else.
I'm really sorry that I missed. I'm really sorry I missed the answer to the question. My dad called me aside, and I hope he can forgive me.
Oh, no problem.
It's recorded, so you can watch it later.
Okay.
Excellent. Good. This is just me. I'm not Tekkrr, so I don't know what the question was, but yeah. So you can watch it later.
Yeah.
Like she said, very good. But I'm sure she answered something good for the most part. All right. She's something, huh?
She is something.
Okie dokie. We will find who wants to come. There's a couple entities around. We'll see who wants to come.
Wait, what?
There's a couple entities around. I'll see who wants to come.
Why are we inviting entities?
That's what we do. So that they can give us information, spiritual guidance, or whatever we need.
So you're talking about lower vibrational beings.
Not necessarily. No, higher
So would
vibrational.
you describe these entities?
Aliens, angels, spirits, but they're all higher. I do not take in lower vibrational entities.
I don't know if it is my place to, but while I'm here, I might as well say that I feel that entities are like a lower vibration of calling them, that a proper way would be celestial beings.
You see, you put a definition on it then, and you can put any definition on entities that you want. It could be a positive or a negative. You could put different definitions on different words and make them good or bad. Aliens to some people is a bad word, but not to them. They, yeah, I'm okay. Why? I'm fine. But you can put a definition on anything and make it good or bad. So it's your intention that makes it bad. It's your intention that makes it bad, not that the word is bad. Words
So
are very
basically,
powerful.
curse words aren't really bad either.
It depends on what your intention is for them.
Curse words are an expression, so it is your intention if it's good or bad.
Yep. That's where I'm from. So, and there's some words I don't speak. Some words I don't speak because I think they naturally bring people to a lower. But the word entity is just a being to me. I do not call in any negative entities or beings or spirits or anything of that nature. If something is negative, I do not accept it. I will not accept it. It does not resonate with me to accept anything negative. So I am calling only higher vibrational beings.
Okay. Well, I
And we'll
was
call them
just checking.
celestial beings then. Yes, I'll just call some of the celestial beings then for you right now. So
Well,
that's
thank
cool.
you. It's just thank you for explaining, and I didn't know.
Oh, that's okay.
Usually,
You see, the thing is, I am very inclusive. I accept everybody for who they are, how they are, and in the condition that they're in. And not everybody can do that. But I think that's where we're headed toward. To be able to accept each other and to learn from each other and bring everything into a positive realm, even if like the world may have a negative view of it. Like some people have a negative view of other people, but I can't. I just see them as a spiritual being because that's what they really are in their essence.
because we don't have souls, our souls have bodies.
Yes, very well put. yes, we're the fire. They're the fire within us that gives us the life that we have, the beauty, and it can, if you feed that, if that's what you feed in your life, if you feed your soul and your love and your great experiences, that's what's going to grow. You see, it's just like a flower. If you throw something poison on it, it's going to die. But if you throw water and fertilizer, that's what's going to make it grow. So everything positive in our system, our soul, our spirit, makes us grow, helps us
And you
grow.
have very good energy to you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
And
Okay,
I'll
Burning, I'm going to have to interrupt
That's-
here because, we have Jim for a limited amount of time. So
Oh, I'm so
let's
sorry.
let him channel, and then if you have any more questions afterwards, we meet so you can talk to us and we can explain things to you if you like.
Okay,
Her name
I'm
is
so
Diana,
sorry.
right? Oh, your name's Diane, right?
Deanna, thank you for
Deanna.
letting. Yes.
Deanna. Yes, I thought I heard her say that her name is something different. Oh, Deanna. Very good. Thank you. All right, let's see who comes in.
Jerry
And-
Garcia.
Everybody, I keep hearing Jerry Garcia. Jerry Garcia. Hold on. Is Jerry Garcia there? Somebody really wants to talk to you.
Yes.
Is that all right with everybody? If I call Jerry Garcia, because I think he's here. Hold on. Oh. Yeah. 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 Nibby, that was you, wasn't it? This is Jerry. What do you need?
I wanted to ask you about what we talked about last time that before we were disconnected.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Oh. Oh, I remember what we were talking about. Are you sure you want to discuss that here?
Probably not.
Probably not. That's what I thought, dude. That's probably not. The thing is, okay, let me give everyone a little insight to what we were talking about. We were talking about drugs. However, they were to be enhancing and positive. We weren't talking about the negative use for drugs, which is totally bad. So, but there are some ways that you can use drugs that can be enhancing and can be positive, but you have to be intentioned so to use them. It's just like if intentioned for your drugs to work within your body to get rid of allergies and stuff, you're taking them with the intention that they're going to help you, right? So they help you with the intent also on there of your good intention of them helping you. Now, if you look at a pill and say this pill is going to help me with my allergies, and you intend that pill to help you even more than what it's made to help you, it will. Why? Because things can be intentioned. All kinds of things can have great intentions. You can intention yourself. You can do an intention and meditation that yourself be good intentioned. Ah, how many people would think that? It's like whoa. And the thing is about drugs, a lot of people just use them recreationally. That can be dangerous. Let's face it, that's dangerous. When I used them, look what happened to our band. Look, people overdosed, died, bad things happened. However, when they were intentioned to do a particular thing, do you remember how good of a jam band we were? Do you remember how good of a jam band we were? An awesome fucking jam band. So we intentioned that when we did certain things, that we would be connected. And that is why so many people followed us around, because that connection was so strong. We can anticipate each other's moves. And now I'm not saying that was the greatest intention to use it for. And you know what? I'm here to tell you that that you don't need drugs. Really, you don't. You don't need them. Let me tell you what Bashar says about drugs. I'll tell you what Bashar. I watch Bashar. I think he's awesome. He's awesome. He says, if you smoke marijuana once, all right, you feel that feeling, you know that high, you can recreate it without the tool. He calls marijuana the tool. You can recreate that experience absolutely in your head, since you have experienced it. You have experienced it, what it's like. You can recreate that in your mind, body, and soul without the tool, because your body remembers everything about it. Now, if you do want to have an experience that is drug-related and intended for good, that does not mean you're smoking every day or using every day or doing it once a month. These are special times of intention that you have serious needs and intends for healing, for life-changing events, for different. Do you understand what I'm saying? I know I abused. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. I abused. But you don't have to. Not in this day and age. It's not necessary. Because you know what? Your brains are fourth dimensional now. Of course, I had that too, but I didn't really make as much use of it as I could have. But, you know, we did channel some of our music. There's no question. I look back and say, oh, I channeled that from there. Oh, yeah, I channeled that from there. You know, oh, I channeled that from an experience that I had. You know, it's awesome that I was able to do that. And I wish I could go back now and use it even for greater good than I did, because I thought I was doing pretty good. I was making people feel good. I was making people, you know, I had some good messages out there. I mean, they weren't all bad or whatever, you know, but, you know, I wish I could have taken it a step farther. But now that I look back on my life and see that what was accomplished and what was harmed and what was not harmed, I learned many, many, many lessons. But I can
you
tell
tell
you.
me how can I channel music? Channel better?
Okay, music. It's simple, dude. Music is all around you. Everywhere in every space of the universe, there's music. There's also words. There's also noise. You may not be able to hear it. It might not be in your dimension, but it's there. And you know what? If a song is written and goes out into space, it never decomposes. It's there in its fullness. You know why? Because it is part of every other piece of music in the entire universe. It's fucking amazing. But anyway, what I want to tell you about that is that you can channel that music right into you whenever, because it's all around you. It is all around you. Now, the greatest people in the world that do music are the ones that hear it out of thin air, or wake up in the middle of the night with it playing in their head, or have it just come to them or they can touch the piano and all of a sudden there it is. These are the people that channel the music. It's not really something that they try to do. It is just there. It is just there. That's how I experienced it. I would go over to the guitar and I'd start strumming. All of a sudden it would be like just there, man. Oh yeah, that's good. And then I would get some words and it would just develop, and it would come into me just like a flow. You know what I'm saying? Not all of it. Of course, there's some channels that are a little different than others, and You have to work on it a little bit sometimes. But the greatest inspiration it just sweeps over you, man. It's just wonderful. And
how do you
you
recreate
have
the tool?
what?
How do you recreate? How do you create the tool? How do you recreate it without using the
Create the
drugs?
tool. Do an intention meditation about it. Say, is it that I can recreate this tool? Because you having the memory of it in your system, having experienced it, having known what it's like, the perception of it in your special way, you can recreate it from your perception. You are that good at creativity because guess what? That spark that within you is God. Guess what God can do? He can create. And so what? You can create too because God is helping you to do it because you are part of God. God, here, yes. Creation, yes. I know some people have specific beliefs about how God works and where He is and how He comes in and how He goes out, and forget all that shit because God is here in you. And if you feed that love, that is God, that flame, that is God. If you feed that spirit, that is God, guess what? That is the spirit that'll grow. That is, and your intentions will be brought forth because that is who you are in your perfect self. Who you resonate to be will come out. Your talents, if you have a talent for music, that's going to come out. If you have a talent for speaking, that's going to come out. If you feed that perfect God spark that is within you, you could do multiple things and have multiple thoughts of spirituality and all kinds of things. It's fucking groovy. But it's also who you are. Oh, I'm sorry I said the F word. Forgive me, but I don't mean it to be in any way negative.
Yes.
They're telling me, watch what you're saying. I'm sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's not necessarily.
Okay. Now, Marco is also asking, can you talk about the magic mushrooms?
The magic mushrooms. What do you want to know about them? The magic mushrooms are everything you ever heard about them. You've heard everything about them, and
what they do.
Psychedelic. They can be good or bad. They can actually be neutral. Some batches are just not very good. It's like woo.
I have one question about magic mushrooms or whatever you want to call it, psilocybin, or that when I used it with intention of getting better of whatever connection that I have with whatever, and it really helped a lot, and therefore I recommend it to people. Is it good or bad of me to recommend it to people? That's one of my questions.
Your intention is to help, so that's good. You see, it helped you so in your intention, you're saying, oh, it helped me, so it could probably help somebody else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because you know why? Because their intention will be for that to help me. However, what is it that you had it do for you? What did it do for you?
You asking me?
Yes.
Well, it did a lot. I mean, it's mixed up with DMT also. I have a lot of experience with DMT and mushrooms.
You do it all the time?
No, I don't do it all the time. I am trying to be as balanced as I can with many things. I mean, I really do try. So I do it. I mean, I do it maybe once every third month or every twice a month. I don't know. It's different. It comes when it comes. It's nothing that I plan. I have a feeling when it's time.
Okay. I heard enough, dude. Let me tell you this. Be careful. I'm not here to be an advocate for drug use. That's not why I'm here. I know that I was probably seen as an advocate for drug use, but that is not why I'm here. But if it helped you that time when you did the shrooms and it made you feel better, well, God bless that. But you're not going to get that experience every time you use drugs. That was a special case, let me tell you, because healing is a very high intention. A very high intention. And I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. I mean, that you can't do it that way. I'm not going to say you can't do it that way, because you know what? Every freaking thing in the world is possible. Everything. So just be careful, dude. That's all I'm saying. I love you, and I want you to be good. And I don't want you to get hurt or anything like that. But
Thanks.
make sure your intentions are very positive. Make sure your intentions are not just recreational, because
What does that mean? I'm sorry, I'm not. English is
you're
not.
not just doing it to feel good. Your intention is to just get high and feel good. No, that's probably not. You know why that's not good is because your intention is wide open. Feeling good is a wide open intention, and bad things can come in. And the thing is, they don't appear to be a bad thing sometimes when they're coming in. But once they get there, they're hard to get rid of. So be careful. That's all I'm saying. Now, what Diana was saying earlier, yes, there are certain things. I know where she comes from. She's a cautious person. She's cautious. And I understand that, and that's important. So be cautious. I don't say, oh, never, ever, ever use drugs. Well, I can't say that. Who am I to say that? I mean, that would be like saying, I never use drugs. Ha! You know, I can't say it. But I can say be careful. And I can say do it with intention and do it to grow. Don't do it just for fun, because that can be dangerous. Because you can let in some things that you don't want in. You have to be very smart about drugs, and I wasn't really smart about drugs, and neither was my band very smart about drugs. We just had them to have a good time and fun and blah, 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 and look what happened. Drug overdose, death, mental problems, break up families, children being hurt. Yeah, a lot of things that drugs did was not good. A lot of things.
So what are your thoughts on pop culture nowadays glorifying heroin use?
The heroin stuff? Oh God, that's a mess, man. That's a mess, you know? It doesn't take long to get hooked on that shit. It takes one time for some people. One time to get hooked on that. That shit is bad. So I'm just telling you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using swear words again. Wow. Forgive me. They're not meant to be. They're not meant to be negative. I'm just being expressive here. I'm trying to tell you something good by using something negative to show that it's negative. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So
yeah.
I'm not saying it's just to be nasty or crude, but yeah, that stuff. One time for heroin, you can get hooked. It depends on who you are, the situation, what's available. It's like that with all drugs, though. You know, availability of drugs is a big thing. If it's available to you, it's hard not to get addicted because it's there. It was there for us. I mean, we were high all the time, but that was not a good thing. You know why? Because I didn't learn all the lessons that I needed to know. I didn't be what I should have been in my perfect self. I mean, I was perfect, and I did a great job in many ways, but there was so many greater messages that could have come from me that did not come.
What were you supposed to be then?
I was supposed to be what I was, except I wasn't supposed to. I wasn't supposed to be high all the time. I was supposed to be letting these people know that were following us all around what a good example was, and we weren't a good example. And a lot of those people died because of us, because of drug overdoses. I can't imagine how many people died because of our band, because of all the drugs that were out there. I can't imagine how many overdoses and how many addictions there were out there because of us. And that's not what I wanted to represent. See, I come to the Oversoul and I say, what the fuck? You know? What did I do? All these people died that could have been special and done greater things than they did, and I felt very much at fault. Of course, God forgave me, and I thank Him for that. I say thank you. I had a trouble forgiving myself. I did. I had trouble because all these people hanging around us, taking drug overdoses, it was common. It was commonplace for somebody in the crowd to have a drug overdose during any of our concerts. You think that's the kind of legacy that I want to leave behind? Absolutely not.
So let me ask you this. What do you recommend? There's somebody in our group that because he no longer does it, but there's a lot of guilt within him for things that he did. How would you recommend for him to help him move on beyond that guilt that he's feeling from the things that he did?
First of all, whoever it is, congratulations that you recognize that there was a problem. Congratulations for taking the bull by the horns. Congratulations for having enough balls to move forward in getting better, get some help. You know what? And you are already forgiven by God because He knows the circumstances, He knows why, He knows when, He knows what. And you know what? The only problem is you have a hard time dealing with what you did. You have a hard time dealing with those emotions that are attached to that time period. Guess what? You're not living in that time period anymore. You are living in the now. You are living in right now, and you are forgiven. And you know what? I love you for the fact that you had the courage to move forward and away from that addiction that you knew would bring you down and not lift you up. And you want to lift other people up, and you know what? Forgive yourself, and then you'll be able to lift others up. If you love yourself, you'll be able to counsel others to help them get rid of this kind of addiction. Is that something that you want to do? If you can get out of it, if you can love yourself and forgive yourself, then you'll be able to help others. Not only help yourself. No, that's just the beginning of it. You're helping yourself already. Forgive yourself and help yourself even more. But it'll help you to love others. It'll help you to move beyond the self, to become selfless and speak to those that need help out of this situation. Go for it. That's what I say. Forgive yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself, love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. Fucking love yourself. That is the biggest thing in the world, to move forward, to help other fucking people grow and be who they're supposed to be. You're not supposed to be down and not like, oh, poor me, I did all these terrible things in the past. Yes, you did them. Forgive yourself. You've already been forgiven. Now move out of it. No time for a pity party now. You have others to help.
Okay, because he does help others. He does help others that are going through it.
Well, now if he loves himself, he'll be able to help even more. Because when he can radiate the love out of him that he wants to do, that's when there's a greater success.
Okay.
Good. Hey, I'm sitting here in this room as not familiar.
Thank you. How long did it take you to go back to the higher self? Does that happen right away?
Oh yeah, I went right back, and they pretty much was a wonderful thing. I mean, open arms, love, every tingly feeling in the world. It was wonderful. And then they said, would you like to see what you did in your last life? And I'm like, oh yeah, great. And then I watched it and I was like, ooh, there are lots of lessons there, yeah. And you know what? I felt very sad for a little while, but they let you feel that so that you can appreciate what had happened. They sort of put you in a third dimensional outlook for a little while, so that you can actually understand what was happening in not one perception, but a full sense around perception of what was actually happening and the most important things that were happening while you were alive, and while I got to look at many, many other lives that were following me around, that were influenced by my life, not only through the records and the live performances, but just by friends and family of people that were listening and loving, and it influences millions. Influences freaking millions. And I'm like going, holy moly. I could have used some expletives there, believe me.
Yeah.
I chose to just be a little more calm, because after I watched that, I was sort of like, why am I here? I did such a shitty job, you know. I said, why did you take me back? I mean, I'd have dumped me off somewhere. But the thing is, that's not the way they think. Your lesson is to be learned, and it was learned, man. I learned it. I learned that lesson. I didn't learn about swearing, because I don't think that has anything to do with the lesson. To be honest with you, I really don't have anything. Saying a bad word doesn't have anything to do, unless you intend it to be negative or whatever. Then it can be, you might want to stop. I stopped saying some of them. I really did. I don't say GD or JC or anything like that anymore. So, because those are more harmful. Those are more harmful. So anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah. So here I am.
And do they, when you're reviewing, let's say with family members, do you get to look at it from their perspective also, or do you see it only from yours? I mean,
there's a million people watching when you're doing that. If they want to watch, they can watch. There's a million people going back with their videos. You know what I'm saying? It's a crowd pleaser. Believe me, they're going, yeah, I had something similar. Don't worry, I'll tell you. I mean, they're supportive, but in a kick you in the butt sort of way. They want you to realize that it is a lesson. You know, it is a lesson. It is a lesson. But they're going, yeah, you're forgiven. You know, but yeah, you were pretty crappy there. Yeah, that was a pretty crappy situation. Oh, yeah, that's not good. You know, you get some comments, and you'll say, why is everybody allowed to watch? How embarrassing. Not really. When you realize that you're already forgiven, when you realize that these people have already been through many things that you've already been through, it's only pride that makes you feel embarrassed. So you have to sort of drop your pride, and they sort of give you that lesson before you watch it. They're going to say, now, there's going to be a lot of people watching this with you. You're going to have to drop self. Self is not part of this, except for what you did in this life. Now, when you watch this, this is who you were, not who you are. And so, let's watch this and learn from it.
Can I just say something?
Sure.
Under the very deep DMT trips that I had, something very much similar happened to me. And through that experience, I left for whatever this place is. I left it, and I left to this other place where something that you just explained happened, where I could see sort of my life, all that I've done, but as a feeling, more or less, because this was under a very short time. It undergoes over maybe 5 minutes or so. So maybe one of those minutes, or I don't know how to really put a perspective of time when stuff like that happens. But everything happened very quickly, and so my question. Just one moment. My question to you: this period of time that you had to, or you could see what you've done, how can, if you put a time frame on that, What time is
You
that?
really can't. You
No.
can't put a time frame on it because it's timeless. There is no such thing as time, so you really can't put a time frame on it.
Yeah, I
But let me
know.
tell you, they put you through it emotionally, they put you through it visually, they put you through it spiritually. There's so many perspectives of your life as you lived it. And you'll go back and look at it from those different perspectives. And you can stop it and look at some things closer. And they actually will stop it for you at some places and say, let's look at this particular place. Emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And we go through that, and you might watch it. They might play it for you 4 times right in a row. One little section, and you go, yeah, all right, I get it. All right, yeah, all right, stop. Yeah, stop it, I'm done. But they needed to do that for the full effect of that part to get through as a lesson. But the thing is, after you leave the video or whatever you want to call it, the little movie, the little feeling group, the whatever, you are back into the Oversoul, which is the beautiful, joyous, loving, accepting, undivided but yet divided. It's so incredible to experience it, and it's like, wow. So I can hardly wait to meet you there. I hope I might be in another body then, but I'll meet you all sometime. I'm
Okay.
gonna go, okay?
All right, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks.
And helping
thank
us.
you very much,
This is
Jerry.
Sabrina.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
loved everything you had to say today.
Thank you.
Thank
Yes.
you for sharing.
Thanks.
Love you.
I
hope you
think it
got
was
some,
helpful to many. Yeah, I think your information was helpful to many.
You
So,
think?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yes.
All right. Well, I'll go and I'll
Very
see you
nice to
some other
meet you.
time. Thank you. It's nice to meet you too. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Journey well.
Goodbye, Jerry. Thank you.
Take care, dudes and dudettes. Yeah.
That was so awesome.
Wow, it's really good. I think it would help a couple of people.
Whose ever picture that is on the screen, that is so pretty.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, how are you? Oh, thank you.
Hi, Jim.
What band did he play in?
That was good.
That was
Grateful
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did good.
I was so glad he came in. I did not expect that.
When did he die? Did he die? He did die, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died in 1995.
1995. Oh, okay. He died in 1995. That's quite a while. I didn't know he died.
All right. So, do you want me to do the blessing, Jim?
That would be wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I did not sleep well last night, so I'll be tired afterwards.
Yeah.
For once.
Yes.
But not because of channeling. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Takatanana ki yuko tia kia katanana. Ku kata yu kutu ale kiki yu kutu kutu. Kyoko no kutu kulia kia takati. Katanana no kutu kuli yuku. Taki. Eki o kutu nana no kutu. Hakia nananana katu kolo ikia katiki tikiti. Ekio no no ku ka kio toku. Okutu nanana kiyu. Olia katananana ko. Onua kiyu tu nana ko. Tulu nana tu siya nana. Ali yo nana ko. Ono kolo kutu kutu. Oni yakia kataka yakia taku. Ona sio kutu. Ola nana kiu tono. Olananakati sonoko. Onaki yanaka. Eyananiaka. Anu koluakati. Entu kaliakato. Ono siata. Anu kolu. Osutonoko. Lia sanukata. Eyoni yutu alaki. Iyutuku anaki. Yutono. Osyutukoto. Ono ataka.
Your memories are safe for all eternity if you want them, and you can let some go that are not necessary. But with all things you will find that the memory is a teacher. The memory is a once understanding, a once perception that might have changed. And look at those things and see why they have done so. See why there are such things as mutations, but they can be good. And see why such things as changes, and they can be good. You cannot always perceive a change as a difficult or bad time, because what it brings about may cause many people to be happy or rise or find understanding in things that they once did not understand. So therefore, be open to the things of positivity, open to the things of the spirit that may want to cause you to move in a different direction than you are already moving, because your perfect self is never done shaping. Your perfect self is never done feeling. Your perfect self is never done becoming perfect. And therefore, as you move through this life, growing, expanding, vibrating at higher and higher levels, you will understand that the perception around spirituality is so infinite and so misunderstood at some levels by everyone. But when you reach it and you finally know what it is, you become it, and therefore you do not have to understand it.
Wow, that was good.
I just wanted to say something
Oh
real
my
quick, Jim.
goodness.
This will be John. I just want to say thank you so much for everything you do, and this is something I always look forward to. So I
thank
really
you.
want to say that I appreciate everything.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Of those that are
That was awesome,
can
guys.
raise your
Or
hand.
lack thereof.
Yes.
I'm excited to watch this again.
Oh, really? Good. Thanks.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you,
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. I love you all, and I'm glad we could have a webinar today. I had to go to my goddaughter's confirmation, and it was Friday night, and there's no way I was going to come from Syracuse to here overnight or get here in any shape to do a webinar in the morning. So thank you for coming this afternoon. So
I got to sleep in.
I
Thank
appreciate
you.
that.
And
So we'll return to 10 o'clock next week.
And I just want to say that if you enjoyed this webinar and you benefited from it, please consider donating to Human Colony at humancolony.org, and donate whatever you can. It's all good.
Yes. The thing is, one of these days we're just going to have to incorporate. It's getting very big, and we need a little more. I hate doing that though, in a sense, because that takes away some of the spontaneity. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But I love you all, and I hope that we can come to some kind of understanding with that when that has to happen. So, but I
Yes.
see it growing very fast, and we need control. Not that I want to control. I'm not a big control freak. So, but I would like you to be
Order.
the controllers. Yes, order. I would like for the people here that are part of Human Colony and treasure it to help control it, so that it remains something loving, friendly, outgoing, heartfelt, and not something that's that stoops to the negative side. So that's all I wanted to say. So I love you all, and I think that you're doing all of wonderful works. I know that you are, And if you need any help, just let me know. Just call me, send me a text. I do get many, many, many a day. And if I can help with a question or two, I usually can do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Thank
Good night.
you.